Opera season is here again. Here's everything you need to know about opera etiquette and a night at the opera. If you have not been, here's a quick and easy guide. My name is Gia. I'm an etiquette consultant based here in Los Angeles, and I personally go to the opera and listen to the opera all the time. You may not be the opera aficionado, but that's no need to feel excluded from an art form that is rich in tradition, passion, and extraordinary talent. So here's all the things you need to know before you attend the night, and give this a like to help others have a wonderful time at a show. Many programs in the UK and the US run promotions to make opera accessible to everyone. So in the UK, there's the proms in the summer, and in the US, we have the 30s, so where there's a society of people in their 30s or younger who appreciate opera and can mingle at like all these parties and drinks and events. So if you're a first-time opera goer, arm yourself with some basic knowledge of terminology and pay attention to program notes, plot summaries, and subtitles if there are any. So first off, arrive on time. Most opera houses won't let you in after the opera has begun, and you may have to wait in the foyer until the intermission, so do not be late. You don't want to be stuck outside for like an hour and a half. Next is to keep quiet, avoid whispering or rustling wrappers, and most importantly, switch your phone to silent. There is typically not food allowed in the auditorium, but sometimes the food for sale, they'll have gummy bears, so like make sure that if you do like suck on a little piece of candy, that it doesn't make noise. And know when to applaud. I have a whole video on applause etiquette, so clap when the conductor takes to the podium. So for the video for applause etiquette, it takes all different types of performances into account. So when the conductor takes the podium, you clap. Also after the overture, at the end of an act, and at the final bows. It's also quite normal to clap after a particularly well executed aria. If in doubt, follow your fellow audience members' leads, and remember that you have the program to guide you. This is the overture, this is the aria, this is whatever may be in the performance. Also to dress appropriately. Unless it's a major gala performance or gala or a country house opera, there are no dress codes typically, though audience members often enjoy dressing up for a social occasion. I personally go in white tie without a tiara, and my husband goes in Hollywood black tie, and jeans, sportswear, shorts, and flip-flops may be regarded as overly casual, so avoid these. And my quick and easy tips for dressing up appropriately is to wear a long gown. So the evening is known for long gowns, and the day is meant for shorter gowns, shorter dresses. Something to keep in mind is stilettos for the evening, chunky heels for the day, gloves that are long like opera gloves. This is for white tie events. When you eat or drink, remove them one finger at a time. And a tiara is only if you are married. If you are not married, no need to wear one. And for men, you can wear a lounge suit, or as we see in America, a suit. So depending, because there are so many different types of suits in England, because it's the most formal, and I teach British etiquette and American, but I specialize in British etiquette. I got my certification in a British finishing school, and my husband's British, my whole family. Don't be casual. Do not dress business smart. Dress up. This is the time to go all out, and you don't have to come in white tie, you don't have to come in with tails. What you want to do is wear a bow tie. So you can also wear a velvet blazer, because velvet really captures the color in the night, and it's very extravagant. Keep it as simple as possible, but dressed up as possible to look like you put in effort. Wear all the textures, all the silks, the satins. You can also check out my full blog post below for the 10 essential operas that if you are interested and want to start to get to understand a bit more about it. Now here is your guide to words you may hear at the opera and what they mean. An aria is a long emotional solo sung by the main character of the opera. A baritone is a male singing voice, so it's higher than a bass but lower than a tenor. A bass is a male singing voice and is also the lowest in the total of the scale. Belcanto is a style of singing or opera written in such style that emphasizes holding out periods of music, phrasing, tone, and technique. For those of you who do not understand what phrasing is or who did not study music, phrasing is simply when you finish the whole bar of the music. So you typically say, "Mom and Dad, the house is on fire." You don't say, "Mom and Dad, the house is on fire." You don't break a phrase. So that's what phrasing is. Buffo is the comedian of the opera, comes from the Italian term for buffoon. Cabaletta, a faster, more upbeat second half of an aria, a cadenza, a segment at the end of an aria that shows a singer's vocal ability, canzone, a folk song used in opera, usually sung by the buffo in a comedic way, cavatina, the slower first half of an aria, coloratura, fast notes and trills up and down in the scale, a style that began in the Baroque period, contralto, a female singing voice and the lower vocal range. A great example of this is Anna Mora, the fado singer, or Diana Krall in the song The Look of Love. You can really hear her contralto. Countertenor is a male who elevates his voice to alto pitch. Double aria is an aria with two parts, the slower cavatino and the faster cabaletta. Embellishments is the act of adding notes to a melody line. Grand opera refers to an opera without any spoken dialogue. So it utilizes a large orchestra and chorus. So an example of this would typically be anything Wagner or even Le Misérables is like a light example. And interlude is a short piece of music that is instrumental, played between acts or scenes in an opera. A leitmotif is a recurring musical theme that precipitates the appearance of a particular character or event. So say, for example, a motif is a pattern. It's like a theme that is a consistent melody you hear throughout the whole show. Say, for example, in Sweeney Todd, Joanna, you hear the I hear you, Joanna, and they mix it into other songs. So they mix that melody in, and every time like Joanna pops onto the stage, you hear that melody come on. So that's a leitmotif. Libretto refers to the words in an opera, but it can also be a small piece of music. A maestro refers to the conductor, whether they are male or female. A melodrama is a passage of work that includes alternating dialogue with song. A mezzo-soprano is a female singing voice, lower than a soprano but higher than an alto. And speaking of mezzo-soprano and soprano, there is something very special and an old school tradition in opera that I really do not hope it exists anymore. At least I hope it doesn't. Well, it's called the Castrati. So these are men who sing very high, and a long time ago, boys would sing in the opera and they would cut off their lower privates to keep them singing high, but they would grow up and have the lung power of a grown man and have the high range singing voice of a woman. So it was quite the force in singing. Opera buffo, a performance that focuses on ordinary people. Sometimes it is comedic in nature. Operas, I just saw one recently. I forgot the name, sorry. It escapes my mind because I saw a few, but opera seria, performance that focuses on gods, goddesses, heroes, considered a serious opera. Like Wagner has a lot of these. I just saw Die Valkyrie again. It's my all-time favorite. Parlando, singing that sounds like ordinary speech that may occur in the middle of the aria. Patra Song is a song in which an actor sings an excessive number of words in a short amount of time. So it's dense lyrics, in other words. They do this in jazz a lot. Prima donna is the leading lady in a theatrical production. Recitative, a song that is sung in a conversational style. They do this a lot in Sweeney Todd. Répertoire, a block of performance pieces that a company can perform without any further preparation. A roulade is a quick run of notes sung on a single syllable. A soprano is a female singing voice of the highest vocal range, so it's the highest register. Supertitles, or also known as subtitles, are used during foreign operas, just in case. Typically on a projector on a screen. A tenor is a male singing voice of the highest range. Tremolo refers to the rapid reiteration of a pitch. A trouser roll is a roll of a young boy or man sung by a female. A vibrato, wavering of the frequency or pitch while singing a note on while singing or playing on an instrument a single note. I hope this helps. Give this a like if it was informative. Subscribe for more etiquette tips and modern manners, and check out my hosting and events playlist link below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.